Whew. Okay, here we go. What is going on, YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yocrates. This is your review for SWV Escape, the Queens of R&B Season 1, Episode 1. I don't know if we'll get a Season 2. I hope we do. But, whew. And look, I'ma just let y'all know. So look, if y'all watch my videos consistently, y'all know how I feel about generations and certain things and certain ideologies and whatnot. Is gonna be here. Okay. And if y'all don't want to hear me talk about somebody mama, you can click off now. Now let's jump into it. So we start off with the background of each of the groups and how they got to where they were, some of the problems that they had. And I'm not rehashing none of that because both groups of women had their own reality TV show. So I'm not rehashing none of that history. And then, we get them doing the verses, and now here we are. So we start off with Candy and Tiny. They're in the studio. Well, actually, you first have Candy in the studio, and she's remixing her song Body, and then Tiny joins her. And of course, we know that those two have been friends for many of years and even do business together. And they have, songwriting credits and Grammys for that. Again, shout out to them. Um, and Candy's like, well, I'm tired of having these songs on my hard drive, and she wants to do something with it. And here's the reality: a lot of artists have catalogs worth of music that they just haven't released. Like a lot of, and especially if you're a songwriter, many and most of them just keep it because they feel like it's a good song, but it's not worthy to be put out. So you have artists with tons of music just unreleased. So Tamika joins, and you can see there's a good vibe and energy with her and Tiny and Candy, which is great to see. Tamika and Latasha haven't spoke since did a show in Vegas, and what happened is Candy and Tamika were locked out of their trailer. Tiny and Latasha was able to get into theirs, and pretty much Latasha had only cared about her, and her, like, as long as she was straight, that's all that she cared about. And if y'all followed Escape, it's always been said that Latasha had only cared about herself and trying to make it for herself. Feel how you want to feel about that. I'm a reserve it until I have to talk about that. So I'm not shocked. And if I never heard anything bad about Latasha and I heard this, I would probably side eye, but I believe every word of it. Um, and there was drama over a text message. So pretty much Latasha was upset that her sister literally had walked past her like she wasn't there, and pretty much as long as you straight, you don't care about me, but we're supposed to be sisters. And pretty much it was just, what, forget you and whatnot. Latasha replied, well, you can kiss my butt, kiss my butt. And then Tamika said, yeah, if you had a butt to kiss. And apparently, Latasha saw that as body shaming because she doesn't have, like, she's one of the few in the group that has not been surgically enhanced. And to my understanding, Candy has not been surgically enhanced. And I'm just gonna keep it with 100. I can't stand Tiny. Well, either because both of them, they names Tamika. I can't stand they body jobs. And if y'all see right here, I, and honestly, like, I think that Latasha has a banging body. I really do. I've always loved Candy though, but I'm just saying. So it's one of those where obviously this is something that she's dealing with, and it's a bit of projection. Maybe this hit a sore spot. Maybe it's let me use this as a reason to be mad. It could be a whole lot of things. But with something like this, and there's a misunderstanding, because again, text messages happen, and you can interpret the text message however you want, unless there is a voice message. You can interpret a text message however. So there's a whole lot of miscommunication. We'll get more on the whole body shaming later. So you have SW performing. They are celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. Next year will be Xscape's 30th. Their manager talks to them about combining efforts, and the girls are okay with the idea of doing a joint project. Here's the reality: all of this is literally just setup for us actually getting there. Because again, all of this was already planned. Like, they weren't gonna sit here and start shooting the show, and this wasn't already something that was on the table. Now, will they get to the actual tour based on what we see? Yes, but even just the drama of leading up to a show that can be season one. The tour can actually be season two. But again, they at least had to agree to doing the show. Okay, so that's just a whole lot of word salad. So you get Latasha with her husband Rocky together for 27 years. Candy introduced them. She broke up with her boyfriend at the time to get with him. Her son Jamin, I think it's Jamin, played basketball in college and whatnot, and she's hoping that that will, project him, I guess, into actually playing for the NBA. And they talk about this tour and the project and whatnot. And though I don't like Latasha, I do agree with that there has to be some type of balance. If there's no balance, then I can't do it. And she needs to talk to her sister. I understand that, but I will also say this. I've I worked with many of people that I didn't like, especially my time in the service. And it was one of those where when the job had to get done, I had to swallow all of that. And as long as you wasn't disrespecting me, cool. Let's go ahead. Let's do the job because it is what it is. And once we done with the job and I'm off work, I ain't got to talk to you. I don't even want to see you. But while we on work, there is a certain level of professionalism. And the reality is, hey, I'm getting paid. So yeah, I'm going to deal with you as much as I need to. And that's it. And here's the other reality. They have been singing some of the same songs for, we just going to say 30 years, right? They already know the arrangements and whatnot. Unless they decide to change the arrangement of how a song is sung, then that is something that they would have to work on. If they decide to change up the choreography, something that they would have to work on. But if they're literally getting on stage and doing the same exact show that they've always done, it's just boom, we're doing it as a joint project. Or even if they split up and they're kind of intermingling what they're doing, but as long as everybody's doing the same thing, you can get your butt up on stage and do your job. The only thing is with Latasha, she feels that over singing means that you are a singer, and some of the best singers are the ones that don't have to do all that yelling and have control. And in songs, they perfectly execute a high note or whatever, and then bring it back down and blend it. Just saying. But I can see, because if you watch Xscape, you can see there be times that Latasha be doing so much, and even with the song Tonight, because I love that song, so I've seen all the different ways they performed it on their last tour, and she would quickly go into hitting her little run at the very very end, her like as soon as Tiny got done, hurry up and get into it, and it's one of those where you heard the audience giving Tiny her flowers. Don't matter, let me hit my note. And I guess it got to a point where either somebody said something or she realized, like, you know what? Maybe I should just let the moment happen and then come in. I'm just saying, whatever. Anyway, anything else? Nope, moving forward. Oh, let me take my dang off here. I'm about to sit here and mess up my whole notebook. So we get Tiny. Not a whole lot there. Like I said, she's at home being a mom and a wife, and then she brings up that, Tip has always had a problem with her working. I think a lot of that is just control, where he wants to have a bit of control over her. And at the same exact time, I also think that he's jealous of her stardom. I'm keeping a buck, because when they got together, she was already tiny. He was up and coming. She had credits and everything to her name, but we ain't even going there. We get Tamika. Like I said, there was some product placement. I think she has like some type of season or whatever. I didn't feel like trying to walk up and look at my TV and whatnot. But product placement, good for you. Pretty sure Bravo getting the cut, but hey, get your money. Her husband does executive protection. Great stuff. Met him while they both were working for Tyler Perry. So I would assume that would have been Meet the Browns, because that's the only thing that I remember Tamika being in. And they talk about the SWV Xscape meeting that is about to happen. So we actually get to that meeting. Candy and Latasha, they still aren't warm towards each other, which is understandable. Because again, I mean, it just is what it is. Those two just don't get along. And it's been years of that. And I will keep it a buck with you. I think part of it is Latasha always felt that because she had the grander voice, that she was always supposed to do more. Now, we can sit here and argue, okay, well, look, let's be honest. I love Candy, I really do. But, I mean, her solo career did what it did. Latasha's did what it did. But, I mean, they weren't no Michael Jackson. They weren't no Diana Ross. You know what I'm saying? No shade. But the reality is, regardless of where their solo careers may have gone, Candy behind the scenes as a writer and a producer has done way more than what Latasha has done. Keep it a buck. So I'm pretty sure there's still some animosity there because Latasha probably feels like the life you have is probably what I should have, but it ain't none of my business. So the sisters clearly have issues. They start talking logistics, and they're like, we should probably have one band, one set of dancers, one DJ. Coco didn't like the one DJ thing, but from a money standpoint, that is probably the best thing to do because if you have one band, that's all you got to pay for is that one band. They just learn both sets of music, good. One set of dancers, same thing. Now with the DJ, I guess have your preferences, whatever. Tamika wants there to be like this whole production, like Coco might come out and do this. Well, I'm sorry, I think she probably said like Candy probably do this one song, and then Coco come up from on the stage, and then she start doing this song, and then we do this and do that. A whole last production. That's a whole lot. But I mean, if y'all can make it happen, okay. Latasha clearly has a problem, and Taj sees it. Shows she's just kind of like, "Are you okay?" Because it's one of those where it's visible, and it almost seemed like to me that she had that look because she wanted somebody to say something. And Latasha said, "Well, she has a reservation. She's not excited, and Xscape has internal things that they have to work out, which that may be true." But this is one of those where if this is supposed to be a business meeting, what y'all have as a group should never have surfaced in this meeting because that is very, very unprofessional. And again, you are on a nationally syndicated network and you're acting like this. This can keep people from wanting to work with you in a certain capacity. Because let's be clear, divas and divos, the only reason some of them have careers is because their talent and the money behind them, most people will take a risk on them. But if you don't have all of that and just a pretty voice or whatever, most people don't care about all of that. Anyway, Coco lets her know we don't communicate all the time. We don't like each other. We get our butts on that stage, we perform our songs, we sing, and we go home. Like we ain't gotta like each other to work. Now it's different if they have to go into a studio and start recording brand new stuff. Then that's a totally different thing. But they just getting up there and singing songs that they've been singing for 30 years and doing the same steps or modified, reduced steps. They ain't got to talk. So Latasha may not feel like going on tour, and I think this is a power move that she's trying to pull because it's almost like if I don't get what I want, then ain't none of us getting paid. And what is funny is when Xscape had their show, it was Latasha that was really, well, actually, Tamika really was fighting for, but Latasha was fighting for because, again, Candy don't need this. Tiny don't need this. Baby girl, you do. So I guess she feels like, well, in order for this to happen, I'm an integral part, so I can sit here and give them an ultimatum. In essence, that's kind of how that's coming off to me. Y'all let me know. And Lily says, like, it's crazy how we can sit here and forgive our ain't-ish men and whatnot, but when it comes to us and girl groups and us sitting here doing something that we enjoy and for the fans, we just can't get it together. So they gonna figure it out. SWV leaves for Africa the next day. It is a 6.5 figure job. Let Taj tell it, get your money. And it's for a rich man's 50th birthday. Look, if he got the money to bring y'all a girl, you don't get your money, even though they're getting their money, but get your money. So we get Candy, Ty, Ace, and Blaze. Their kids are fucking beautiful. Curse. I wasn't trying to curse. Whatever. It's one curse word. I shouldn't get penalized too badly. Because if any cuss words do come, it's going to be in the next section. So it's Pizza Friday. Todd ain't happy because he is like, we got to make our own pizza. Boy, yo, shut up. They rehashed the meeting. Candy believes that, growing up, Tamika felt like she had to, do whatever to please Latasha. And I think that might be because of, it appears that Tamika is the youngest, but also knowing that they both can sing, but Latasha has the more powerful dynamic voice. But that doesn't take away from Tamika. And Tamika even said on their other show they had on Bravo that she just wanted to be in the group. Like she didn't have to sit here and have all these leads. She was just okay being a part of the number. So I guess her whole thing is let me do whatever I need to do to keep her happy so we can keep, because I guess she just loved the sisterhood. And what we found out from Tamika is she had befriended Candy individually and Tiny individually and then brought them to her sister. So it's good to know that those three still have their friendship. And Todd says they probably need to do group therapy. I agree. This is when we get into the meat and potatoes of this mess. So, her name on the screen is Miss Gloria. Her name Gloria over here. Okay, you gonna be missing mama when you show me the missing the mama of it. That is Latasha and Tamika mama. So they are at her house or coming to her house to have a sit down. Now Gloria and Latasha are close, and we even hear this from Latasha. Gloria had to pretty much be the mom and dad for them growing up, and also I kind of sort of understand this dynamic. So with her being the oldest, of course, the mother leaned on her a little bit more. So their bond is definitely going to be different and unfortunately stronger than the relation that she has with Tamika. So 3 days before, and this is when from my notes, I went from writing Miss Gloria to just Gloria, because she calls Tamika, inviting her over to her house so Latasha can explain her version of events. See, again, I understand we doing the show and whatnot. If I was Tamika, I would have been like, I have no problems with doing this, but we need to be in a neutral setting. Because again, this is one of those where power plays and everything else. You first off, I don't give a damn who you are. You not calling my phone crazy like that. Y'all think I be playing when I talk like this? Obviously, I have two parents, but the last parent that on my phone talked to me like he was crazy. We ain't talked for a whole good 2 years. Radio silence. I don't play that. You not for the, and then you calling me on my phone that I pay the bill if you don't stop. Yeah, this ain't about you. Back to this. I'll tell you, this is why it's gonna get me going. Dang, damn it. So Tamika knows that Gloria has Latasha's back, and Latasha is her favorite. And baby, if you can't see it, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay, because Ray Charles and Steve, I'm about to say Stevie Brown. I don't know who was Stevie Brown and Stevie Wonder. I can see it. See, look at me trying to be smart and almost made myself look silly. So Tamika arrives and goes to do a handshake with Latasha. I don't see a problem with that. Latasha pretty much demands a hug, and Tamika's like, "Oh, we're hugging now." Latasha like, "We always hug." And the flashback from just a couple days earlier, maybe like a week earlier, when they had the meeting, no hug. But see, this is one of the reason I don't like Latasha. She reminds me of somebody that I know, because when it's around everybody else, you show exactly how the hell you feel. But once we get in front of a certain person that we're related to, now it's all stunts and shows. Because again, when we're dealing with relatives, oh, it's stunts and shows and it's doing this. But when we around people that ain't family like that, oh no, I'm gonna sit here and anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. This ain't about me. So Gloria wants to know what is going on with them. But immediately, so at first I'm like, okay, what's going on? What the problem is? But then immediately turns to Latasha and addresses her, wanting to know why she blasted Latasha in a text message. So it's very, and it was clear before then, but it's very clear that she had already had a one-on-one convo with Latasha, did not give Tamika the courtesy of getting her version of events and then bringing them together and allowing them to talk to each other, and then she mediates. That isn't what this is. Tamika says, if I'm paying you to do a job and you leave, then there needs to be consequences. I don't know exactly who was being paid in this, but okay. And then Gloria mouthed to Latasha because once she said that she gets up to illustrate what had happened, Gloria mouthed to Latasha, she jealous. So it's obvious you're pitting your daughters against each other. It is so disgusting. I when I Anyway, Tamika explains being locked out of her room for an hour. All of a sudden, she see Latasha. I think Latasha's manager, and I think maybe like a road guy, or whatever. All three of them just walk in unison right past her. So pretty much like, I'm your sister. You see, I've been locked out. Oh, but you changed, so you just gonna walk by me. You don't come back. You don't say nothing. And Gloria says to Tamika, she says, "Oh, you need an Academy Award for that." So again, so you're disrespecting your child. See, I hate the fact that people feel because somebody is of a certain age or they hold a certain position within a particular construct that they have full rights to say whatever, talk to you whatever, and treat you however. And then when you defend yourself against the disrespect, You're wrong because you're disrespecting that person because they supposed to talk to you any kind of way. I do not subscribe to that. I really don't. I really don't. And if y'all think I'm playing, if any of y'all know my peoples, you might want to ask them because they would tell you, "No, y'all, that's how y'all is." I don't play those games. This ain't about me. Back to this. So she says you deserve an Academy Award. This is Latasha. So you playing into this too, and I'm even sitting there just like, oh, this a gang up. This was a gang up off rip. And anyway, Gloria says, so she walked away. Tamika was like, yes. And you felt away. Trying to make it seem like she understands. And Tamika was like, yes, because I would have made sure she's good. Now, this clearly, if we clearly see it, but it's clear there's an imbalance in their relationship where it seems like Tamika is always the giver, Latasha is the taker. There is no reciprocity in their relationship. It is a power dynamic, but at the same exact time, I need for Tamika to understand that, because when she said, if it was me, I would have, that is an expectation that you're putting on her based off of whatever ideals or whatever. When you sit here and you have these high expectations or even put these expectations on a person, when they don't live up to it, you're always going to be, hurt by it. So Latasha felt body shamed by her sister, and then she lets us know about her dealing with her size in the industry. And I understand that that has been a part. It's lived with her, and again, her body is great. And the whole her not having, a butt or whatever, it's obvious if, and this is a big if, on some real talk, I really don't think Latasha is that mad because she said if when she said kiss my butt, if you had a butt, I honestly don't think Latasha is mad about that. I think she just wanted a reason to sit here and have a problem with her sister. And also using this situation as a way to control, because again, the power play is she has the mom, Tamika don't. So since I can't get you to act right, I'm gonna pull mama in so mama can punk you and get you to act right. I know these moves all too well. So Gloria sternly, with an attitude, shoots Tamika down and tells her that it doesn't matter. Again, it's clear where Gloria sides, but it's the whole thing of Gloria knew what she's saying. I can't fight against. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the bag of I'm your mama and I'm older, so I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna check you. Latasha said, well, we're family at the end of the day. And Tamika's like, oh, so we're family a month later? Tamika's like, well, I can't help that. And then Gloria says that she gonna do something about this in a minute. Again, trying to punk her. And Tamika points out to their mother that you only see, you only react and you only see when I say something. But when she says something, you don't say nothing. You get quiet. Baby, when I tell you I relate to this particular moment, I ain't gonna lie. Because but anyway. And then, she says that she doesn't like this 2-on-1. Gloria tells her she stands up for her many times. Tamika Tamika replies, but never against her. And then Latasha's like, oh, so it's supposed like y'all supposed to come against me again. You're not the victim here, Latasha. You're not. And then she says, when you do stuff wrong, mama get quiet. And then the mama said, like weird. Now look, y'all, I think this has been heavy on Tamika's heart. And Tamika just been pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. And eventually it popped out. And the whole like win. And I think Tamika also saw like, so y'all really finna sit here and try to play me in front of these cameras. Oh, look, the volcano erupted, and Tamika pretty much says, when you stole my mama, mama didn't say nothing. And then she lets us know that several years ago, Tiny Mom had let her know that there was like some new royalties that were being dished out from, the work that they have done, so their past projects and whatnot. And she didn't receive her royalty check and did some investigation and found out that her check or checks, I don't know if it was one or more than one, were sent to her sister and her husband. So Latasha's husband Rocky was able to cash Tamika's check through whatever little business or venture, whatever he has. And the total was over 30K. I was like, now look, money and everything, okay, but this is one of those where, see, if I was Tamika, oh, no, I wouldn't be working. But when I tell you, oh, it would have been some smoke in the city and not a fire truck inside to put it out, because oh, it would have been on and popping. Oh, it would have been on and popping. I would have been playing Little Scrappy. We some head busters, cause some heads getting bust. I ain't gonna lie to you. So Tamika says that her friend had the evidence, and her friend pretty much wanted to get Latasha locked up, but she told her no. But then says, "But I still have the evidence. Oh, and you can still go to jail for it." It got real, and my shout out to my boy James Caldwell, aka Spillerboy TV, or should I say better known as Spillerboy TV, but also known as Trace Your Milan Trace Your on Trace Your Lane. There we go. But he said this is when reality actually meets reality TV. Once she said, "Oh, but you can still go to jail," or Gloria said, "Either cut them cameras off or y'all can get out of my house with them cameras." I'm like, oh, it done got real. So yeah, y'all see how I feel. Y'all see where I'm at on this thing. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a lot of conversation in the comments. But with that being said, don't forget to check me out later on tonight on Simply Sakina's channel for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. This is the season finale for us, because this is the last episode of Potomac, and we will come back for Atlanta. But Scotty, Josiah, and Terrence will be doing roast and review of this show, and just stay on the lookout because I might pop up. You never know. But yeah, I will see you all later. All right, bye.